What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Chris Surratt. What's going on, my friends? Fix this little problem with the speaker for a second. All right. Welcome to Chris Twisted Pup Surratt, your Central Coast Realtor brings you black real estate now. On the show today, we're going to be talking about how a broke nigga can buy a house. We're going to go through a step by step tutorial on you as a broke nigga in this society can buy a house. We're also going to review a interesting. Here, let put this up here. All right, that's me. That's me. I'm Christopher Surratt. Nice to see everybody. Hopefully, you're tuning in for this pivotal information. All right. And also, we will be reviewing a New York Times article about discrimination in real estate that was done, last month. So it's fresh and it's new and it's still true. So, of course, introductions. My name is Chris Surratt. I'm a realtor on the Central Coast of California. Um, um, just getting this podcast thing started, so please bear with me on some things. We just gonna pan through it, but my goal really is to get you guys, onto a path where everybody, and I do mean everybody, everybody's family at the very least, owns a home. That's the goal. That's the objective. That's what we're trying to do here. So, without any further ado, what we're gonna do is we're gonna review this article. It's very interesting article. I'll set this up for you guys, but it talks about discrimination, how it's seeping into every aspect of home buying for Black Americans. Um, and we just really just reiterating that systematic racism still exists, and, a lot of people don't know that for some odd reason, but that's what we're talking about. So I got the article up on my screen. We're gonna review it real quick. Let me set this up. Make sure you guys can see this. Okay. Okay. Zoom it a little bit for y'all so y'all can get a good look at this. Let's check that out. All right, so this is the New York Times, my friends. So it's good information. Title, we're talking about discrimination seeps into every aspect of home buying for Black Americans. The National Association of Real Estate Brokers says discrimination holding Black buyers back in all steps of the home buying process, starting with the rejection of a mortgage application. And of course, I am a member of that National Association of Real Estate Brokers. So, nearly 45% of Black households own their homes, compared with more than 74% of white households, a new report has found. So let's dive into it. This article is written by Deborah Kamen, November 29, 2022. Not that long ago. Not that long ago. All right. A black loan applicant in the United States is more than twice as likely to be denied a home mortgage as a white applicant, aggravating the home ownership gap between black and white Americans, according to a new report. Those loan denials for both black and white applicants have slowed since the 2008 financial crisis. The gap in denial rates for black and white people applying for home loans has widened significantly, my friends. And of course, being that I'm a realtor, I do see this up front, but it has changed a lot, and you can definitely see it. Um, it's you do find that places like California and New York, you think that they're more liberal and they don't have these problems, but these some of these problems are ingrained into the system. So it's not about where you are; it's about who's running, what's going on. All right. So today, 15% of black applicants are denied mortgages, while 6% of white applicants are denied the home loans, according to a report by the National Association of Real Estate Brokers and Advocacy Organization for Black Real Estate Professionals. The housing market remains persistently and disproportionately challenging for black prospective home buyers, the report's writers say. Although black home ownership has been inching forward since the passage of the 1968 Fair Housing Act, which made it illegal to discriminate based on race or religion in all aspects of home sales and rentals, like that doesn't still continue to happen, redlining and such. The full report will be released on Wednesday. Nearly 45% of black households own their homes, compared with more than 74% of white households. And of course, that, those are good numbers, probably not the exact correct numbers because, the censuses are not done that great in, majority black um, black areas. The census has been very disproportionate in its reporting, so I would think that you'd find you know those numbers to be skewed to some degree. Uh, but in 1970, the gap in home ownership between black and white households was about 24%. Today, it is 30%. The disparity in home ownership rates, as well as widespread appraisal discrimination. We have seen several situations um, where you would see a black homeowner, an appraiser will come in there and give them a low appraisal, and then they would remove everything that was black about the home, and have that same appraiser come into the exact same house, or another appraiser come into the exact same house and give them a proportionally larger appraisal amount on their home. We've seen that happen several times. There's been several articles on that. So it just continues to show that there is continued systematic racism, and it's gonna, and as much as it's gotten better, it's still there, and it's still affecting a lot of us, and that's kind of our biggest thing. Our ideology is to make sure that the opportunity is there for everybody, for all, black or white. But mostly people who are not getting that opportunity for these reasons. It's widespread. It's an epidemic, and there's lots of things that are going on in the housing industry these days that are going to make it even harder and harder for people who are not well to do to own homes. So let's get back into it. All right. Disparity in home ownership rates, as well as widespread appraisal discrimination, are compounding the massive income gap between black and white households, and thwarting black Americans' efforts to create generational wealth, the report notes. In 2020, the average white family held 12 times the wealth of the average black family, and home equity is the largest source of wealth for both black and white households, the report says. Discrimination and systematic racism is still happening around the country. It has not changed. And if that doesn't change, of course, our numbers are going to change, said Lydia Pope, the president of an association known as NAREP-EB. It's still going to be the same cycle, just a new season. Since 2012, the Real Estate Association has been compiling an annual report of the state of black housing. The research is primarily based on information from the Home Mortgage Disclosure Act, which requires banks and other lenders to release details including race, gender, and income of the people who apply for and obtain their loans. Well, I mean, my problem with that is that if they can get that information, they can use it against you. Wouldn't it be better if they didn't require that information, or didn't grab that information, or didn't use it? Because that's the whole thing, that they're using this information against people. But I digress. It is supplemented by census data and academic journals and media reports. This year, for the first time, the report also includes a section on climate change, noting decades of lopsided federal policies against black homeowners that are now translating into environmental racism and an elevated risk of natural disasters in black communities. Like, we have to agree and understand that most areas that are predominantly black for a specific reason. Um, you know, and most times that reason was that the white people didn't think that the area that the black people was on, they didn't care about it. It was for some one reason or another, they thought that that area wasn't a nice area. It wasn't, manicured. It was near the waste dump. It was near a bad lake. All of these kinds of factors, which this consensus said, or somebody said that this area was bad, so we're gonna let black people stay over there. And what happens is that those black people go over there, and of course, they build the cheap cheap housing over there, aka the projects, and so all the black people are living in the projects, and then all black people who know those black people or want to own homes around the projects, so it's all in the same area. But what happens is that those black people that own those homes in that area, they are of good solid nature and of intelligence enough to know the importance of owning a home and taking care of a home. So if they're taking care of their homes and they're taking care of their area, and they're taking care of the park and all these other things, then it becomes a nicer place. And then people start seeing that it's such a nice place, and they're like, well, this is a nice place. Why are we living here? So then that's when we get into gentrification and reasons for why, you know, banks buying up areas of, disparaged homes and renting them out and raising prices so black people can't live there, or, under um, unfortunate broke people can't live there. That's what we're running into right now. Is a real big epidemic of banks and companies buying up these homes in these disparaged areas because they've been run down to some degree and they're cheap, and then turn them into, building them up to some degree and turn them into expensive rentals, which the people who live in those areas can't afford now. So now they got to move into a different area. And now, people are getting, put out, people are suffering because they can't afford these rents in these places. I have a friend of mine just left from over here. That's why we're late for the show. Talking about how, you know, um, life has been hard for them because, you know, the raising rent. Full disclosure, I helped them get an apartment recently because they got, they couldn't stay in the apartment or whatever. And I'm a realtor, so that's what I do. Got them an apartment, but you know, the price of the apartment from where she was to the one that she's in now it's significant, and it's putting her in a kind of a sadness because money is tight, and I understand that, and it's a horrible thing, and that's what the world is coming to. That's one of the big things that's going on right now, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's horrible that people are you know, getting put out of their homes. Women, lots of women, and I that talking about talking about relationships and you know um, single mothers and all these other things, and how they're becoming the biggest sector of people that are homeless, and it's just and that's what we're talking about. um you know and and I'm not a big guy that's gonna get on a diatribe about relationships and you know um you know man and woman being together. I'm not on that right now. Will get into a little bit of that later. Just to where it coincides with real estate, but you know um it's hard out there for everybody, and it's gonna get harder because of some things that's going on. So let's finish this article up real quick, and then we're gonna go into something else. Okay, where we at? Okay, but the report, which relies on data from 2021, also outlines some gains. Black millennials made up the largest segment of black home buyers in both 2020 and 2021, a surge attributed to low interest rates, reduced personal spending, and a newfound ubiquity of remote work, which allowed home buyers to purchase homes in less expensive markets. These same factors also increased home buying among white millennials over the same period, but while mortgage applications for both from both groups dipped in 2021 after peaking in 2020, White millennials experienced a steeper decline in mortgage applications last year than blacks of the same generation. And black female prospective homebuyers are applying for home loans and being approved at higher rates than previous years in 2021. And they getting in trouble, but that's another whole story. In 2021, the number of applications for black women, which has been climbing since 2010, jumped 14%. Applications for black male prospective home buyers, in contrast, have been declining since 2017. Wow. Wow. What does that tell you? That is crazy. Like I like my friend Anton. I standardly don't read these whole things before, and I didn't see that, and that's crazy. I mean, think about that. Black female prospective home buyers applying for home loans and being approved at higher rates than previous years. And black male prospective home buyers, in contrast, been declining since 2017. What does that say? What does that say? I mean, is that saying that black men ain't applying um, for loans on homes? Are they saying that black men are buying their homes outright? Is that saying that black men, if they buy homes, they're buying homes as a family, so it's more about the family than it is about the man? There's so many. Wow, that's crazy, and it's so believable to everything that I've seen and read, and it's what I'm talking about. These black female home buyers, if they don't maintain the world that they're creating for themselves when they buy these homes, what's gonna happen is is gonna be the people who have to sell their homes at the low, and which is another thing we have to get into in the end of this. But these are the women that there's this big wholesale buying epidemic going on right now. And, people are just calling people and I'm like, hey, what I'm saying, you want to sell your house? Hey, you want to sell your house? The people who are selling those houses are black women because they can't afford it no more. They selling their homes, they buying smaller homes, they moving back in their mothers. They you know the smart ones are getting back with their husbands. Um, but yeah, because that's what's going on right now. That is the scourge of the world right now. Is that right there? Um, and that's what we're talking about, people. I mean, um, I really just want to tackle relationships when we get to the end of this, when we go through our steps by steps. But relationships is very important. Very important. Okay. In 2021, among black mortgage applicants, the largest segment, 42%, were women applying with no co-applicant. Black males applying a loan made up 34%, and black male female co-applicants comprised 20%. Among white applicants, gender composition of the applicant pool was flipped. The largest group of male female co-applicants who made up 40%, followed by single men who made up 34%. Single women represented only 22% of white applicants. What does that tell you? You black women are deciding y'all buying houses by yourselves left and right. And the white women say, hell no, let that dude buy the house. I'll live in that house. I ain't trying to live in no big ass house by myself. And black women, no. Psh, as long as I got my kids who ain't gonna be here forever, I'm gonna be cool in this big ass house that I'm paying for. Man, wow. Wow. Okay. The proportion, wow, I didn't realize this story was so much about black women. The proportion of black women who are unmarried is higher than that of white women. Let me read that again. The proportion of black women who are unmarried is higher than that of white women. About half of white American women in their 40s are married, compared to one third of black women in the same age group. But the gains seen among black female applicants, particularly those applying on their own for a home alone, remain statistically significant. In 2021, 45% of applications from black female applicants were for conventional loans, up significantly from the 21% since 2010. And the application success rate of black female applicants was also up, whereas the loan failure rate, a statistic that includes loan denials as well as loan applications, that are withdrawn midway and approved loans that are ultimately not accepted for black female applicants was 46% in 2008. By 2021, it had dipped to 34%. Among white women, the loan failure rate was 23% in 2021. Still, overall, black applicants trailed white applicants in securing mortgages. For all borrowers, the most common reason a home loan was denied in 2021 was debt to income ratio, followed by credit history. Among black applicants for whom the reason for denial was reported, about 34% of black applicants were rejected because of debt to income ratio versus 29% of white applicants. Black borrowers also relied on high cost loans nearly three times more often. 14% of black borrowers in 21 took out high cost loans versus 5%. 5% of white borrowers. Racism and discrimination baked into the federal government's housing policy for decades via redlining, yes sir, inequitable division of resources, and the disparate distribution of federal funds and grants dating back to the Jim Crow era have put black people at a disadvantage, the report notes. It persists today in appraisal bias, fees on homebuyer assistance, and even the way in which student loan debt is calculated in loan applications, and will remain insurmountable until the policies themselves are fully unraveled, said Jim Carr, the report's co-author. Blacks are making progress in slowly obtaining home ownership, said Mr. Carr, a housing finance and urban policy expert. But the barriers are so substantial and so multifaceted that they're never going to come anywhere near to closing the gap unless the federal government takes action that repairs the damage which the federal government did. Now, can we rely on the federal government? No, we cannot. We have to do something. We cannot rely on them whatsoever. The federal, look, until we have people in the federal government that are going to help us do these things, we cannot rely on them. We cannot sit in what my friend says is the victim Olympics, and we have to fight. We have to do everything in our power to change these things in our perspective. And there's so many things that we can do that we must do if we wish to you know if we wish to get our shit back together. Okay, so that was the reading of the article from the New York Times. Very very pivotal. I didn't realize it was going to go back into black women so deep. You know, I didn't foresee that. It is the truth, though. It's black women have taken a power position in the world, and I mean, can I fault them? No, I can't fault them. Some broke niggas, which is what we about to get into. Some broke niggas put them in that position, and we have to fight to get them out. They need to help us fight to get them out. They have to realize that we're here for them, and that we as men want to protect and provide for them, and that they don't have to do everything on their own, because that's not how this world was meant to be. Now, for the feature presentation, my friends, am going to give you a step-by-step tutorial on how a broke-ass nigga can buy a house. I personally think this is what's most important, y'all. This is what's most important. I need y'all to realize that I don't give a fuck who you are. You need to own a house. I gotta fix the camera. I'm good with this stuff. I gotta get some moderators and some people to help me with kind of this stuff. I'm a producer. I like to be the backgrounds, but I like movies and TV. So this podcast stuff is new to me, but we gonna fuck with it because we got to fuck with y'all. We got to get y'all to understand that the world is a crazy, heavy place, and we got to move through it smartly. So, without further ado, how a broke ass nigga can buy a house. All right, as speaking as a broke ass nigga, former broke ass nigga, but still in the circles I run in, I'm still a broke ass nigga, so that's cool, whatever. I'm a broke ass nigga, my friends. Um, I'm trying my best not to be. I'm working hard. I'm making money, and I'm doing good. So I can honestly say I'm not. But in this instance, I'm gonna say from broke nigga to another broke nigga, we have to move forward in our lives. And the first way to move forward in our lives is start the basis for generational wealth. And the basis for generational wealth, my friends, is owning a house. Simple. Owning a house is more than, um, you know, the tax implications, the ability for you to control what happens at that place, the ability to have as many foods in that house as you want. The limitations that people can put on you when you're renting are just astronomical, just crazy. And once you buy your house, it's your house. You can paint that motherfucker any way you want to. You can tear that motherfucker down any way you want to. It is your house. So, as a broke ass nigga, let's start off. You a broke ass nigga. What does that mean? You ain't got no money. You live in a broke ass area. Probably got a lot of broke ass friends. But even as a broke ass nigga, you got a couple of simple things. Most niggas, broke ass niggas, have a bank or a credit card or a credit union. Something to that effect. And you know what they can do? They can access that. But I digress. Let's start from the beginning. All right. If you're a broke ass nigga and you want to buy a house, first you need to do take your broke ass outside of whatever broke ass. All right. If you're a broke ass nigga and you want to buy a house, since you're a broke ass nigga, you live in a broke ass area. You probably live in a broke ass apartment, broke ass rental house, some broke ass shit. Okay. First thing I need your broke ass to do is walk your broke ass out your house or apartment and walk around. Walk around and look for a broke ass house. It shouldn't be hard. It should be probably 2 steps away from where you live. Right around the corner. You're going to find a broke ass house. And more than likely, you're going to find 2 or 3 that ain't got nobody living in them. Probably got no windows in that motherfucker. Boarded up doors, all that shit. It's there. Right around the corner. You see it every day when you go to work. Because broke ass niggas have jobs. They don't be great jobs, but you got a job. Another thing that we're going to leverage later on in this conversation. All right, so broke ass nigga. You see that broke ass house? Now, ain't nobody living in that broke ass house, but somebody own that broke ass house. Now, dollars and donuts, you probably know who own that broke ass house. Or you have some way to find out who owns that broke ass house. If you don't, call me, text me, email me, a3chrisfindshomes@gmail.com, and I'll help you find out who owns it. Because that's going to be the first step. So you find this broke ass house. Maybe you find 2 or 3. You find them. You write the address down. You go home. You find out who owns them. Call me if you need the help. Email me. Text me. Whatever. You do that. You find out who owns it. Simple. You call them. You're like, hey, you got this broke ass house. Ain't nobody living in it. It's just sitting there collecting dust. You paying the bills on it. Let me buy it. Now, there's going to be a few keys in there. I'm going to probably need you to find out how much houses is around that area. But the first thing you need to do is find out how much money you can get. Because you're going to need money to buy a house. That's broke ass nigga 101. But the thing is that even as a broke ass nigga, you got a bank, you got a credit card, you got a credit union, something where you can go ask about a loan. Now, of course, another key is for most people about loans is that you got to have credit to get it. Now, I would suggest, well, my first suggestion would, if you had the possibility of doing, is getting together, because the first thing that we supposed to do is get with people who can help us. Like, you're a broke ass nigga, so more than likely you ain't got a lot of people that can help you, and that's fucked up. So, you ain't got the family. You probably got that grandma. You used to have that grandma that we all had that grandma that had it all, you know, that you could probably get the help from to get your house. But we don't live in that world no more. These grandmas ain't the same as they was back when I was a kid. So scratch that. So now what we talking about broke ass nigga is getting up the money to buy this house that we found that's broke. Now it's a broke ass house, so it ain't gonna be that much. However much it is, however much it's gonna cost us to buy, it's probably gonna cost us more to renovate. And that's something that we can worry about down the line. Once we jump in that mug, we put some windows in there. Okay, we can keep the boards up. We can make that mug habitable, and we can spend our time fixing it up to make it look beautiful because it's our house and we can do whatever we want to it. Now, here's the key. That key, though, you know, I always say that you first want to try to find out if, because if you're a broke ass nigga, and usually you a broke ass nigga by yourself, it's gonna be hard to have. You might got a girlfriend, but if you a broke ass nigga, you got a broke ass girlfriend. If she gonna be a lot of help, that's gonna be, I don't know. That, you know, we're not sure if she gonna be a lot of help for you. But ask her. If she wife material and you a broke ass nigga and you working hard to become something better, you know, she might be it. She might be the move. You know, if y'all don't want to get married, the key is gonna be something else we're gonna talk about. But if she's it, get with her and work together. Find out what her credit score is. Find out what her money situation is. She got you a broke ass nigga, she a broke ass chick. Y'all both got jobs. Y'all combine that shit, man. And you find a broke ass house for the low. You buy it, and you know, and if you need, that's another thing. So step by step, okay. Broke ass nigga, walk out your house, walk around your neighborhood, find a couple broke ass nigga houses. You see them every day. Write down the address. Find out who owns them. If you need help with that, give me a call, DM me, whatever. I will help you with that. Step two, ask them, hey, you got this broke ass house. Let me buy it for the low. Don't say it like that. If you need a tutorial on how to say it, because you're a broke ass nigga, you're probably not going to be able to say it correctly. You know, hey, sir, madam, my name is Christopher Sherrod. You know, you have that house on Ventura. You know, it's empty. I know you guys are paying the taxes and everything like that, and I have family, or you know, I'm in need of a home. You know, do you think you would have any feelings about selling it? And you do this till you find yourself a home, and there's gonna be a lot of opportunities if you live in a broke ass neighborhood because you're a broke ass nigga. It's gonna be simple. Just do that. Next step, find somebody that can put in on the money to help you buy the home. Always best if you can gather it up to buy it cash. If you're in Indiana, you get together 50 grand, you're gonna be cool. You can buy you a little 2 bedroom, 1 bedroom in the hood, fix it up, flip it. Man, it's the start of building your wealth from this house, from this little crappy house that you bought, that is gonna go up in value because gentrification and all these other things that's gonna happen around it. That you are gonna be sitting there in a home, and regardless of if you sell it, rent it out, whatever, it's gonna be yours, and you're gonna be making money off of that. Making money off the fact that you own a house. If it's just saving money that you're not paying on rent, not paying the man to stay in the home anymore. That's the key. Paying yourself, or paying yourself, or paying on something that you own. Not paying on something else else owns. Not paying somebody else's mortgage. Paying your own mortgage. That's what we're talking about. Now, getting back to the importance of you know, how you gonna pay for this. You know, one key thing that is true about broke niggas is that broke niggas stay in broke nigga packs. So And all broke niggas ain't bad niggas. All broke niggas ain't bad people. So if you could find some broke niggas that are cool, you know, what we're talking about is getting together for some joint ownership of some homes. Let me say that again, joint ownership. It's going to be key. It's going to be the key for the future for a lot of you people, for a lot of you women who are losing your homes, for a lot of you men not losing your homes, for all you people who are losing your homes, having to sell for the low. Joint ownership is going to be the key to fix what's going on. You have to find people to help you with the burden because life is a burden, ownership is a burden. If you find three broke niggas, they got enough money, they can put together enough money to buy a house. And if they have to, they can all three broke niggas in a house. And not no apartment, in a house. Three broke niggas can stay in a house. You know, basements, 2, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom. Three broke niggas can stay in a house. Buy a house together. Joint ownership contract. You know, equitable interest in the home. You know, the ability to build. This this will help whoever, every broke nigga who does this. It will help you tremendously. You will save on rent. You will save on bills, and You will build to a place where you're not a broke nigga no more. That's the goal. That's the goal, my friends. You're not a broke nigga because of your finances. Yeah, well, you are kind of a broke nigga because of your finances. But you don't have to stay a broke nigga because of your finances. If you make particular financial maneuvers in your broke nigga state, you can elevate yourself out of your broke nigga state even at these salary or whatever amount of money that you're making now. And it will also allow you the time, money, and opportunity to build on your life, you know, businesses, anything that you want to do because you're saving money. And that's what's important. Saving money to build yourself so you stop being a broke nigga. The world is being taken away from people to be broke anymore. You just don't have that ability anymore. You can't be a broke nigga in this world no more. You will kill yourself. Eventually, you will kill yourself. They're not take that back. There are a lot of people that live in a world where they're poor, but I don't think, you know, they ain't really broke because their mindset is that poor is cool. So I can't touch that. I'm talking about people, broke niggas that don't like being broke. I didn't like being broke. You know, I'm to some degree I consider myself still broke, but that's motivation to become more and to continue to do more. Um, you know, so yes, that's what I'm talking about, my friends. The last thing I'm gonna leave y'all with is that what's going on right now. I don't know if y'all have seen this big. Well, y'all, I know y'all seen Facebook, Instagram. You see this major situation where, you know, people are wholesaling houses and you know astro flipping and all these things. And what is going on is that all these major corporations, my friends, are buying up these homes in these broke nigga areas because they're cheap, buying them up and renting them back to you. And the thing is that when they rent them back to you, you can't afford them anymore. And they're using this to force you out of where you live. They're forcing you out of where you live. Pure gentrification at its best is that the Goldman Sachs of the world, the you know hedge funds of the world are buying low income, cheap housing building it up a little bit, and renting it back to you at a higher price. People can't afford to live in certain. I mean, there has been such a major desertion from California by mostly black people. It is what it is. A lot of black people have moved from California to Texas to Las Vegas. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I know, you know, taxes here is killing me as well. It's killing everybody here, and we just accept it because it's California. You know, I mean, my property in Indiana, Las Vegas. I mean, these are places that are probably going to end up, you know, spending my last days just because it's. I mean, it's not that I don't want to say that I won't be able to afford it. It's just that I don't. It'll be a drain on my finances when I'm at an older age that I just don't need, and I could, go somewhere else and enjoy life, you know, at a you know greater because I'm not spending as much on taxes and you know property taxes and all these other things. You know, I mean, my friend was talking about everybody's my one of my best friend just moved to Las Vegas. I have matter of fact two. I have three, four of my goodest of friends have moved to Las Vegas. Um, a lot. I know a lot of people that have moved to Texas. Most of the people have come back that I've seen because I don't know what it is about Texas. People like it for a second and then they don't. I think I think the people in Texas are getting sick of Californians coming to Texas and running their asses off. That's what it seemed like to me, really. Um, I'm gonna go down to Houston and check it out, but Texas is crazy. Um, I really, for me, um, it's just the craziest thing is the difference in the financial living of from Indiana, where I'm from, and California. I'm gonna eventually move back to Indiana. Of course, my mom's there, so of course I'm gonna go. I'm going to commute. I've always commuted. I'm gonna be commuting more. The idea if it's gonna be a move back to where my house is in Indiana, or it's gonna be moved to Las Vegas. Um, to live all my life, I haven't decided. But no matter where you are, you have to build some generation for your family. To build some generational wealth for your family, and that starts with building a house. Something small like this here on this picture. You see that? That's a small house. It look like it's kind of like uh, my grandma's house in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and I'm planning to buy that house too. So Apple Street, here I come. Um, but something small, man. You don't need much. That's what I'm saying. Most of these people live in apartments. You can't need much. You live in an apartment. Ain't much there. So I'm gonna get off here. Uh, got a little stressed about the little friend coming over, and people are stressed, man. These living situations are killing people, and I've been holding off doing this show, because I'm not good at this, but I'm gonna work on it and get better and make sure that I can reach as many people as I can. I'm gonna do this again, and I'm gonna help you guys. If you probably didn't stop in for the live, so if you catch this on the rebound, hit it like for me, please. You know, Nobody want to help me get my camera equipment and get my OBS and new computer, and all that kind of good stuff, so we can keep on giving the good real estate news to the people. That'd be much appreciated. Cash App is just Twisted Pup. Um, have that in the little description or whatever. Um, yeah. So thank you, who if anybody tuned in. If not, Please check out the replay on YouTube. Um, I'm gonna keep doing this. I have to. This is my goal in life. No, not my goal in life. My my bane to bring the knowledge or to talk to broke niggas. Maybe that's what it is. I'm here to talk to broke niggas because we have to stop being broke niggas. Broke niggas are shitted on left and right. I had to stop being a broke nigga. I didn't start off being a broke nigga, but I didn't start off being a square either. Shoot, I used to do the damn thing, and you know, to survive in this world, you have not. Now, I take that back. It sounds bad. To survive in this world, you have to become a different person. You have to become a person of means, desires, and morality. You got to do the right thing. And right now, my right thing is, you know, digging into this real estate thing and making sure that people who don't know about owning a home, importance of building your credit, and how that's going to be really important for not only you but for everybody that comes after you. It's about building a legacy. And if your legacy or a lot of legacies was built on going to grandma's house for Christmas and Thanksgiving and Sunday dinner, we've lost that. We lost that in a world where everybody moves around and apartments are cool, and we got away from the importance of grandma and grandpa and togetherness. All right, hopefully this live has reached somebody somewhere. Um, if not, I'm going to do it again because it's important. So we're going to keep putting it out. Let's see, it's Sunday, um, December 18th, 2022. It is now 4:18 p.m. My name is Christopher Surratt. Expect me to deliver another podcast on the importance of home ownership, if not only the black community, but in all communities, fairly soon. Let's say probably Wednesday, hopefully. And if you have any questions, concerns, please hit me in a DM. Um, Hit me on the email, 831chris findshomes at gmail.com. I'll have that all in the description. If you want to help help us with the podcast, hit our Cash App at Twisted Pup. It was a pleasure. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep trying to help people as much as I can, because if you help me, I help you. We build a better world. Thank you for tuning in. We'll check you guys out later. My name is Christopher Surratt. Don't forget to hit a like when you check this out later or you see it later. I appreciate you.